A subscriber was gracious enough to put this chart together. It's a chart of the leveraged SMT metal portfolio from the inception, actually almost. The portfolio started with $100,000 at the beginning of the new bull market, or when the last bull market ended in January of 2016. We made a lot of money during the baby bull. I was one of the very few people that actually really did call the bottom of the baby bull. Um, the problem was we gave back way too much of our gains when we got caught during the um, move down into the ICL uh, in late 2016, and especially after the election. And so um, by the time we got out, we were left with only a 50% gain instead of well over, I think at the top we had 120, 130% gain. So we gave back a lot of our gains. Huge mistake. But this is a perfect example of how trading typically goes, and it explains why so many people um, give up and rarely make any money in the market. So um, after the election, we had a long period of time where we're just waiting, going nowhere, sitting on the sidelines, and then we get that move out of the December bottom after the elections, and we made a nice little jump in the portfolio up to about 200,000. So we were back to 100% gains. And then again, we have a long period of just not really doing anything, giving back some of our gains. This is the period where people start to get frustrated. Um, they begin to doubt creeps in. They think the system doesn't work. They start to, they go looking for greener pastures. And then, what happens is they miss the next leg up. And about the time, we're making these really good gains, and this is the point at which people start to take notice. I see a big influx of new subscribers, and then the problem is that as that rally starts to top out, there's always a period where you give back some of your gains. Nobody's going to ring a bell at the exact top telling you to get out and stay on the sidelines. You've got to have some indication that the top is coming, and usually that's you start taking a few small losses, and that's the indication that the rally is starting to top, and then it's time to get out and get on the sideline. So you have some give back, and so what has happened is all the people that finally took notice up here, and they're buying a subscription, and then they get on board right as we're starting to take a few losses as the rally's topping out, and then we give back some of our gains, and then that's where these people that bought at the top, they get fed up, and they decide that the system doesn't work, and then they bail. They go looking for greener pastures, and then of course what happens is they miss the next leg up. And again, same thing happens. People don't really take notice until we're getting towards the top of the cycle. Again, as the rally tops out, we start to have a few losing trades. We give back some of our gains, and then we end up sitting on the sidelines for quite a while. And again, the people that bought late, they give up and bail on their positions, or bail on the strategy. They bail too early, and then here we gave back some more gains. So a long period of time between this peak and the final bottom here, where we were churning, not really doing anything, not producing any results. People get discouraged, and then they give up and they go looking for greener pastures, and then they miss the next leg up. And right now we're trying to get into the bottom of what I think is an intermediate cycle low. It's this intermediate cycle is very, very stretched, but we've got a currency war going on right now between the U.S., the ECB, and China, and it's really stretching and warping the currency markets. So even though we've made some decent gains here, they've been very short in and out trades. To some extent, I've just been lucky, managed to get in at the bottom of short-term pullbacks and then recognize that something's wrong and get out quickly with some small gains. So we are moving the portfolio up, but by no means are we yet into one of these moves in the portfolio yet. But we are positioned very well since we're very late in the intermediate cycle. So I think we're positioned to um, move the needle quite far on this next rally. It's just been very difficult trying to pick the bottom of the ICL because of the trade war going on that has the currencies locked in a trading range, and the Chinese yuan is moving down against the dollar. So it's just made the ICL in gold very difficult this time. But you know, this is how markets work. This is why most traders don't make money in the markets. Most traders just don't have the patience to survive these sideways or periods where you give back some of your gains and hang on until the next leg up in the market. And that's the way markets tend to work too. They'll have long periods of doing nothing, and then you'll get a quick spurt up, and then more periods of doing nothing, another run higher, same thing. Um, and most people just don't have the patience to allow those dull periods to play out so that they never make it to the period where the market is actually trending and they can make some money, or in this case where the SMT portfolio is where we've caught an ICL and we're making some money off the next intermediate rally. They just don't have the patience to survive and wait through the dull periods to get to the good period.